Okay, guys, we are live. It's Thursday night. A little impromptu, 20 minutes or half an hour. A little chat about, obviously, transfers. Will Liverpool go big this summer? I've always said that this was a big summer for FSG. And with the likes of, I suppose, the likes of United buying Sancho, Varane getting ready to rock and roll, those type things, we shall see what happens. We'll just see what happens. I mean, Liverpool, I still think we'll get at least two more players. We brought Kanate in, remember? He was 30 plus million, nearly 40 million centre-half. He's a proper centre-half from RB Leipzig, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He's officially a Liverpool player today, by the way, 1st of July. But, we'll be okay. I think Liverpool will be okay. But I'm really, really looking forward to this. Get your comments in, hit the like button, hit the share button. That's what it's all about, guys. That is what it's all about. Just going to see if I can retweet this out and see if we can get a few people in to say hello. Jay is in. How are you, Jay? Hopefully you are well, as we're going to have a little transfer chat. I don't like rumours. I like the Fleetwood Mac album rumours, but rumours themselves, we just got to be careful with them. The Mbappe one, I have the thumbnail as Mbappe, but can you really see Mbappe to Liverpool? Unfortunately, I cannot see Mbappe to Liverpool this season anyway. But you just never know, really, do you? We have a centre-half, Kanate, as I said. I think we need an attacking midfielder and possibly a striker, but it depends on who we let go. I mean, Origi, Wilson, Shaqiri, these type players, we got to get money in before we get anybody. I think that's the trick with Liverpool. I think we just got to get players in before we sign anybody. That's just the way it is. And it is frustrating looking at the likes of United signing Sancho today. What was it, 78 million or something ridiculous like that? And crazy things like that. And Varane, and talking about Varane, the centre-half, Real Madrid, French centre-half, Varane, proper player, 28. He's a proper centre-half. He is a proper player. Sancho is good, to be fair, but I just don't think he's worth that money. I really don't. I actually think Jude Bellingham, the other guy, Jude Bellingham, what is he, only 17 or 18? He's a proper player. If anybody I would want from Dortmund, I'd want him, Bellingham. Imagine them singing, "Hey Jude" on the cop. Now, that would be good, wouldn't it? I just got a tweet out here that we're live. Hit the like button. The more you hit the like button, the more people we get in. By the way, that's usually how it works. But we get a few people in. Bit of chat. Gonna be heated. Don't miss it, says Dan. Good old Dan. More shy talk on John McGinn today from Aston Villa. Yeah, I can't see that one. Good player, 50 million, no chance. I don't know how much that was bullshit or reality. Nobody really knows, but I can't see John McGinn coming to Liverpool. Can you? But I really do think FSG want to put their hand in their pocket. They'll have to put their hand in their pocket. Because all of what happened this season, I mean, we finished third and stuff like that. We're in the Champions League, but the debacle with the European Super League and stuff like that, and the embarrassments and the furlough last year, it's just everybody else will be spending. Everybody else is going to reinforce, like to Chelsea, United, City, even Arsenal. Even Spurs, all these teams. Spurs, new manager, of course, Nuno, ex-Wolves manager Nuno coming in. Benitez going to Everton, 008 agent Benitez going to Everton with Operation Relegation for the new secret agent Benitez. So tell me your thoughts on Benitez to Everton, Nuno to Spurs, United signing Sancho, of course, possibly even Varane, all this type of stuff, a lot of stuff to talk about. And who the hell do we need, or who would you like Liverpool to sign? Eamon Kelly. Hi there, fellow Reds, hope you're all well. I got my second jab of Pfizer today, so fully vaxxed. I know it takes 7 days, I think, after your second jab to be fully vaxxed, but I got the second one today, so I'm happy with that. How is everyone doing, says Mark Forrest. Hope you're well, my friend. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the share button. Let's get a few people in here so we can stay on for half an hour or so and chat about the Reds and whatever you want, I suppose. There's not a huge amount of news. As I say, just, craziness in the papers. And they have to sell papers. They have to clickbait and thumbnails and stuff like that. I put an Mbappe in the clickbait, well, in the thumbnail, but I just can't see it. That would be a dream, but I can't see it really. Mbappe to Liverpool. I just don't see it, but you just never know football. You just don't know. You never know. Fans wetting themselves over no signings. Fuck me, the window only opened officially today, says Jay. Exactly. I mean, officially, Ibrahima Kanate is officially a Liverpool player only today, 1st of July, when the season starts. The contract starts from today. The Euros is still on as well. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? England have a great chance now, of course, after beating Germany. I think England have an absolute. They play Ukraine in Rome on Saturday. And then they come back to Wembley for the semi, and I think the finals in Wembley as well. So I just think England won't get a better chance to win it. They will not get a better chance to win it for me, England. I really do think this is their chance. The Euros have been brilliant, though. I've really enjoyed the Euros. But and get your comments in, guys. Who would you like us to sign? Who should we sign? Who won't we sign? What do you think of United signings? What do you think of Benitez going to Everton? What do you think of Nuno going to Spurs? It's going to be an interesting season next season. Hopefully fans, I know the Delta variant floating around and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff is up in the air, but let's hope fans are at least at half capacity, maybe not full capacity, but half capacity for the start of the season in August. August 14, of course, we kick off against Norwich, newly promoted Norwich at Carrow Road. Then we're at home to Burnley and at home to Chelsea. So a nice opening for Liverpool. Liz Golden, hope you're well, Liz. I hope Rafa enjoys his time at Everton, but they still suck, says Liz. Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Commiserations, of course, to Liz, who lives in Florida, to those poor people that were killed in that, oh my God, that complex that just pancaked in the resort in Florida. My God. It was 150 people missing or something. That was unbelievable. Oh my God. Wow. Cedric Lopez is in. How are you, Cedric? Hopefully you are well too, my friend. As I say, get your comments in. We're going to have a little half an hour chat about transfers, about Liverpool, about anything, I suppose. That's the main thing. Benitez. I did a video last week on Benitez. I knew he was going to Everton, so I did it last week, and he was in contract talks and stuff like that. So, listen, live and let live. He was great for us. 2005, of course. Who will forget the 3-3, the AC Milan, the penalty shootout, and then the FA Cup final. The 3-3 again, penalty shootout against West Ham. Super Cup win as well against Bayern Munich. Very close to winning the league as well, remember. But, I mean, it's money. It's money. He's a house in Liverpool still. He loves the city. Premier League club comes calling. You're going to take it. You are going to take it. Agent Rafa's going to take it. So I'm not going to have any hard feelings, to be fair. Not really, no. Just good luck to him. Just good luck to Rafa at Everton, but hopefully not too much good luck. Nuno to Spurs, I think that's a good signing for Spurs. Getting the Wolves manager in. Nice football. They like the football, Spurs. They like playing football as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Spurs. What happens to Harry Kane? Will Harry Kane stay there? That's another thing. So it's going to be a really, really interesting summer. It'll all kick off as soon as the Euros finish in another week or two. The Euros as well. Will England beat Ukraine? I think they beat Ukraine. There's some big games on the weekend. Cannot wait for that. You had your second jab today, Dave. How many arms you got now? Yeah, all on the left deltoid up in the top corner here. A bit sore to touch, but absolutely grand. Delighted to get it. It's the only thing that will get us out of this craziness at the moment. I think vaccines, unfortunately, guys. Get your double vax. Get your double jab. Pfizer I got today, so happy with that. Liz Golden. Liverpool have a new sign today, and all I hear is moaning about no signings. And all I hear is about us moaning about no signings. Yeah, well, the new signing today, of course, was Ibrahima Kanat, who signed about a month ago, but officially is a Liverpool signing today, of course, because it only starts on 1st of July. But it's only early. It's only opened. The window's only opened. Relax. Relax. Let's see what happens. I think we'll definitely bring in at least 2 people. I can see 2. It depends on who goes out. We're going to get rid of at least 3 or 4 players. I know that guy, Otavio, the Brazilian midfielder for FC Porto. We're really interested in with him. I know Porto are interested in Grujic as well. Maybe an each way swap with a few quid added on. for him. That looks promising as well. I know there's something going on in the background there, but we shall see. There's a long, long way to go, guys. It doesn't help with United signing the likes of Sancho and Varane in the background either. That's what people get panicky about. Remember, we've loads of players to come back into it. Van Dijk, everybody rested, ready to rock and roll for next season. Bring in another 2 or 3 faces will be grand. I don't care what anybody else brings in. I really don't. Nuno at Spurs will be interesting. Totally different management style. Yeah, a proper manager, though. They need a proper manager, and they've got one in Nuno. I think England will get to the final, says Cedric Lopez. Yeah, well, they'll beat Ukraine. Could get Denmark in the semis. That'll be an interesting one, but I think England are in the final. Should be in the final, and it's at Wembley, so home advantage. It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Alan Holloway. Hi, Dave. Please don't make me depressed again. Had meltdown already today. Says, I'm no depression on here, baby. Never get depressed on this show. But you set the agenda. Get the questions in. Get the comments in. Keep them clean. And we'll go there. I wish Benitez well, says Eamon. Kelly will always have respect for the man for Istanbul, 2005. Absolutely. Cedric, 1892, the Reds podcast are in. How are you guys? Hopefully you are well. You were only live a few minutes ago, aren't you? Hopefully you guys, was it Luke or Ben or who is it? But hopefully you guys are well. Check out the 1892 Reds podcast, top class Reds content, of course. Jack Mack was going to pop in, but I think he's having his tea, so he's probably watching. Hi, Jack. And hi, Brenda, his mum. But yeah, it's look, guys, there's plenty of time. As I say, I still think we'll bring in 2 or 3. It just depends on who we get rid of. We've a big wage there. We've a surplus of 4 or 5 players that we need to get rid of. We just can't bring them into next season. We just can't. And I'm sure Michael Edwards and Klopp and the committee are working on it as we speak. No doubt about it. Defo need Genie replacement and maybe an attacker, the striker really we need. Someone that can come off the bench in the last 20 and you can say to yourself, he's going to get a goal or he's going to make a goal or he's going to be involved. You just don't get that with Origi in the last 2 seasons. You just don't get it. Is Gary Neville okay with United spending that sort of money, says Jay. There you go. It's very hard to make people happy, isn't it? It's very, very hard. The amount of money United have spent, I think it was top money on a centre-half, world records, midfielders, world records, strikers, and they're still giving out. So, just the way it is, the way of the world. United will ruin Sancho. I have no doubt. Yeah, maybe. Do you know what? Sancho's a good player and all that, but I would have rathered Jude Bellingham, the other guy. He's not even 18, I think. He's a proper, wow, big, tall fella, plenty of energy, full of potential. But can you see Dortmund selling Haaland as well and Sancho? Can't see it. I think Haaland's there for another season at least. But I like Bellingham. I'm not saying Sancho's bad. He's a good player. But do United need another attacking player? They have too many. They have far too many players already. Remembering Joe Fagan, absolute legend, of course, a classic managerial legend. It's his anniversary today. Joe Fagan, that was a 22nd anniversary or something like that today of when the legend Joe Fagan passed away. Hey, Dave, how do you feel about Benitez at Everton? MDKS Gaming. As I said earlier on, I've no problem with it at all. I mean, let bygones be bygones. He was brilliant for us. European Cup, FA Cup, Super Cup. Who will forget that? Almost won the league with him, played some great attacking football with a lot of average sides. It has to be said, really, has to be. Great runs in the Champions League and a win in the Champions League, number 5 at the time. I let him go. I let him off. No problem. Just hope he doesn't do too well at Everton. Agent Rafa is in place. 008 for Operation Relegation. But I've no problems with it, really. Saw 2 tweets saying Mbappe was seeing out his contract. People who tweeted it have never heard of. Have you any? Yeah, I seen another tweet today saying that even if you were to get Mbappe on a free, there's no such thing as a free, with his wages, his agent's fee and all this, it comes to nearly 200 million anyway. I just can't see Mbappe. I know the thumbnail has Mbappe on it and stuff. It's more of a clickbait thumbnail, to be fair. I think it's a 1% possibility, maybe a 2% of like 100, 2%, 1 in 50 chance. I just don't see it. I really don't. Someone like him with such a big profile coming into Liverpool, the wages, the paparazzi, his entourage around him, I don't think Klopp would allow it. Klopp wouldn't allow someone coming in, a ready-made world superstar, like, top 3, top 4 in the world, coming in and, upsetting the apple cart. Upsetting the dressing room. I just don't see it. I really don't. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. It's not Klopp's type of way, is it? Helen Raybold is in. How are you, Helen? Hopefully you are well. Steve Richards is in too. How are you, Steve? Dave, what about Ollie Watkins link? I seen something about Ollie Watkins, the Aston Villa striker. The problem with buying English players is the inflated price. You're going to pay about 60 million, 70 million. What did Villa pay for him? Was it nearly 40 million or something? I mean, they probably want double that after one season. He was okay. He has potential. I think Liverpool, to be fair, I think Liverpool are higher than that level now, that we're looking for a player even at a higher level than him. I really do. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I just think Liverpool are gone up a notch, Steve Richards, hopefully you're well as well, my friend. Rafa and his wife have done a lot of good work for local charities in Liverpool in the city. As I said, he loves it. He still has a house there. So it makes sense he's coming back. And to be in the Premier League, I've nothing against the man. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I just don't want him to do too well. You know what I mean? Carl Erasure from Germany. Hopefully you're well, my friend. Getting knocked out the other night by England. That must have hurt. But I just thought Germany were terrible. Joachim Low wasn't great. His picks weren't great, Joachim. But that's Joachim gone after, was it 10 years of Germany, something like that. But some things all come to an end, and that's just the way it is. That's life. But I was surprised at Germany the other night. I thought he would have put up a much better fight. I know Muller had a chance going through. I mean, Muller, you couldn't even finish a Muller yogurt. I mean, that was bad. That was a bad miss. Not to say they deserved that. And I think England deserved to win. I think I beat Ukraine Saturday. I think that's nailed on. Klopp doesn't sign superstars. He makes them, says Steve Richards. There you go. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, baby. Rafa just loves Liverpool as a whole job, as a job at the end of the day. Still, and will always be an LFC legend in my eyes. MDKS Gaming. Yep, absolutely. Here's a good one from Cedric Lopez. Messi is a free agent. He's free except for his wages. About 600 grand a week. As I said, entourage. Brings about 20 people with him. You know what I mean? He brings about 15, 20 people. His agents, dodgy as well. That's what people don't take into account. You're not just signing Messi. You're signing his bloody entourage. You're signing his security, all his complications back in Argentina, his agents, I just superstardom level. I mean, he's coming near the end of his career. Let's be fair. He's another 2 or 3 seasons left in him, but no, Messi, no. The money would be involved, just be ridiculous. Liverpool would rather spend it on someone that's maybe 20, 21, 22 that can grow with the club and have a sell-on value. Sell on. That's what Liverpool do. That's what FSG do. They sign a player for maybe 20, 30, early 20s, bring him into the 60, 70 million bracket after 2 or 3 years, and he's a superstar. That's the whole concept they use. Sign Messi now. I mean, he'd be free. He'd be worth nothing in a year. You know what I mean? His wages, crazy. 15 years. Okay, 15 years. Wow. I presume we're talking about Joachim Low there, 15 years of Germany. I think I saw a post saying we bid 120 million with the help from Nike. That's the Mbappe talking about, says Helen. I don't know. Pinch of salt, really, for me. Pinch of salt. I don't know. Mbappe will run his contract down with PSG and then head to Madrid for sure. Yeah, that's I'd say what he wants, his agent wants, and I'd say what Madrid want. Now, Madrid don't have a huge amount of money But if there's one club I could see him turning up next season maybe, or even this season, it's Madrid. It's Real Madrid. We can't keep letting teams shop at Harrods while we shop at Poundland, says Jay, or Lidl, or Aldi, yeah. Listen, we've been in Lidl and Aldi for the last 3 or 4 seasons, guys. Maybe you could say Van Dijk and Alisson, we probably went into Marks and Spencer's for them. And then Lidl and Aldi or Poundland or whatever you want to call it. Let's be fair. I mean, even when we signed Salah from Roma, well, what was it, 38 million or something like that? That wasn't exactly Harrods or Marks and Spencer's. You know what I mean? That was top shelf stuff. And he turned out to be Harrods level. But that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what FSG do. Will they change their concept this summer? I don't know. They might have to. What happened? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's one from Alan Holloway. What happened to us signing generational talent? Is that generational talent by FSG? Well, I have had my say about the whole transfer window saga, says Helen Raybould. You can never have enough say about that, unfortunately. It only really opens today. I insist Suarez be helpful for us in January 2022. Another one with baggage, you know. No, Coutinho, baggage, you know what I mean? I could see Coutinho ended up at Everton. That's my show with Benitez there. Can you? Can anybody see Coutinho ending up at Everton? That's a possibility, isn't it? Would he go there? VVD, Ali and Fab are Harrods level, says Liz. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know they are. So is, look, Salah's turned into Harrods. Mane's turned into the Harrods. Firmino. Trent, he was huge coming up through. Robbo from Hull, what was it, 8 million from a relegated team. Harrods level. So that's what we do. We shop in Aldi and they turn it to Harrods level. I'm taking now after the Champions League win. Do we sign Sepp van der Vaart and come splash some cash? I know. Listen, I know how you feel. Look, I want the big signing. I've just said in the thumbnail, will FSG go big this summer? That's the question. I thought, even we did videos. Look back at the videos. Did videos last year when we didn't really sign anybody. Did videos in January when we brought in Kabak, who we only brought in on loan, and he's gone. And the likes of like Ben Davies, who's still in the basement. Let's be fair. So, will we go big in the next month or two? There's not a huge amount out there, guys. There isn't a huge amount out there. There really isn't. This Sancho signing by United today could set the ball rolling in Europe. But I think with the Euros still on, I think for the Euro, when the Euros finish, you'll probably see the shit hit the fan transfer-wise. 10 have to go. We keep Deadwood year after year, paying the wages when we could have offloaded them and get fresh legs. It's not easy to get the players on big contracts. Like Origi, all these players are on big contracts. They're on 70, 80 grand a week on 5-year contracts. If I have 2 or 3 years left, they're not running anywhere. They don't even have to kick a ball. They still get 70, 80 grand a week for playing in the reserves. You know, they'll just say, I'll sit here. Don't play me if you don't want to. But unless I like who I'm going to, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Steve Coker is in the house. How are you, Steve? Hopefully you're well. Killian Kenny is in. How are you, Killian? Hopefully you're well. Jack Mack LFC. Hiya, chat. Hope you're all well. Same thing, mate. We've spoken about. This is so much fog and it won't. Jack, you can pop in if you want. Just give me a thumbs up. You can pop in for 10, 15 minutes if you want. I'll send you a link if you've had your tea, my friend. But it's always worth sending Jack the link because he always more than likely pops in. We have been so stupid with playground thinking. Childish thinking, maybe? Yeah. All right. Jackie Boy is going to jump on. So we'll have thoughts from Jack Mack LFC. I'm just going to send him a link. But as I say, guys, it's, you know, it's going to be an interesting summer. No matter what happens, it's going to be an interesting summer. It just is. That's just the way it's going to be. And I am just hoping that we can bring in 1 or 2 decent name players. I'm not saying Harrod level, but I'm certainly saying decent level, because that is what we require, because everybody else is doing it. Right, Jackie boy, I've sent that to you. You should have it in your DM on Twitter. Shaq first to go, says Helen. Mo Salama in the house. You'll never walk alone, Mo. Hopefully you're well, my friend. Just a little transfer chat. What should FSG do? What should Liverpool do? We shall see. Jack Mack LFC is going to join us in about a minute or two. He's going to come into the green room. We want to talk to Jack and let him give us his thoughts. So we'll stay on a little longer now because Jack is coming in. Let people know. Hit the like button. Hit the share button, guys. Liz Golden, pre-season friendly. I think he is booked for Rangers. I think it's in Glasgow. I'm not sure, but with this Delta variant coronavirus crap going on, who knows where it is or where it'll be, or will fans be allowed in? Or wow, Shaqiri, he's had a decent Euros to be fair. He's actually adding to his price on like a few of the players. Shaq Meister. Will he leave? Will he go? Minamino, Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Kanate is in the back door. We have him in, Ibrahima Kanat, centre half. So we're okay there. Defensively stacked. If all our players come back fit, that is, and can stay fit, with Gomez, Matip, and VVD coming back. So Keller has signed a new contract. Him and Allison. Allison's number 1, Keller's number 2. Adrian, an extension into his contract to number 3. So it's really the midfield. It's a Genie replacement. Will Curtis Jones fill in for Genie? Is that the thinking? I don't know. Or will we bring someone in? Florian Neuhaus has been mentioned. Basuma has been mentioned. Otavio of FC Porto, young Brazilians being mentioned. Loads of players being mentioned. And we need a striker. I just think with Bobby, Salah, Mane, and Jota, I just think we need another one there, because Origi's there. But if we can get rid of Origi, bring in a striker. Patson Daka, of course, going to Leicester City. I think they've got a gem there. 23 million. That wasn't. I know there's add-ons, but still, that's a snip. That's a snip. Patson Daka. I think we let that one go there. I really do. Xhaka's having such a great tournament. He's already good here. But the problem with Xhaka is he doesn't do it enough. He's not consistent. He won't do it for Arsenal. He'll do it for certain games for Switzerland, but he won't do it consistent enough. We have got Jack Mack LFC in the green room. We're going to pop him in and say hello to Jackie boy. How are you?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you, everyone, for letting me come on, Dave, as well. We've had a lovely evening, everyone. I've just been having my tea, Dave. Oh, geez, I would have jumped on a bit more quicker, but I would have had tea all over my mouth, and it would look like Jabba the Hutt eating, so it would have been nice anyway. But how are you doing, Dave? You right?
No, I got the Jabba. The Jabba the Hutt today. My second Pfizer, so I'm fully vaxxed now. And it takes a week to settle, but it should be grand, Oh yeah, bit sore. Arms a bit sore, but that's it. Grand.
That's spot on there, Dave. How are we doing, chat? Anyway. Yeah, it's very interesting, Dave. I know I haven't messaged you since the Sancho news broke, but I messaged a couple of the lads anyway, and it was probably the most common news over the last couple of weeks. It was just a matter of time when that news was going to be getting broken to everyone, really. And I've just been listening to you and chat, Dave. It's the same thing. FSG will spout, and the journalists. It's the journos that are mouthpieces for FSG. Always, every single journal that you look at, they're under the control of the Liverpool Football Club. So they're not going to say anything that would disgruntle the relationship with the clubs. So it's all passive comments. Edwards knows his plan, Dave, doesn't he? And the targets are going to be there. I think it's just a matter of time after the Euros. Once everything's sorted, then we'll see a lot more of the transfer ball rolling for Liverpool. Because we've got a lot of players, as you mentioned there, Dave, and chat. Yeah. A lot of deadwood. It is deadwood because you're looking at Origi, not had a lot of minutes over the last couple of seasons. Shaqiri, he's been phenomenal for Switzerland in the Euros, I think, from an FSG point of view, and a Liverpool Football Club in terms of selling him as a player. We've got a couple more million on top of his value that we wouldn't have previously got prior to Switzerland's success in that tournament. So there's a lot of money to come in terms of selling the players. I think we've just we'll be making moves on any potential players out. The only way we sign players is if we sell players.
That's the problem.
That's always been the case, and it's
do you know what we have to do? We have to go into Lidl and Aldi, get our vouchers, get enough vouchers so we can go to Marks and Spencer's. That's our problem. But we rarely shop there. It's usually Poundland or Lidl or Aldi. Now I'm saying, listen, we've got a lot of players from that Lidl that have turned out to be Harrods level at this stage, but that's Liverpool turning them into that level, really.
Yeah, even prior to Jurgen Klopp coming in, mate, it was FSG's model, and I know you can point to certain players in the Klopp era. Mainly, a big one will be Thiago in terms of identifying the profile of Thiago. That was very interesting the way Liverpool pursued that deal. He was out of the bracket of buy them young, develop them under Klopp or any other previous manager coming into Klopp, and possibly selling them on in the future. Obviously, with Jurgen and the success of the team over the last couple of years under Jurgen, that's allowed us very much to sign these big players down to contracts. But in other previous years where Liverpool have not been as successful, pre-Klopp, potential bigger clubs would come in and poach all of our players, i.e. Sterling, Coutinho, Suarez, all of them. So it's great that Jurgen's put us into a position as you mentioned there, Dave, we buy players at the cheap young level, and obviously Jurgen develops them and makes them world stars. But
Now, what do you think of? I mixed about United signing Sancho. Big fee. It's always big fee with English players involved. But I don't rate him as highly, Jack. I've watched him. He's good, but he's hot and cold. I mean, he hasn't been supreme this season. He had a good season the season before last. I know you coronavirus and no crowd and stuff. I actually like your man Jude Bellingham even more than him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's the thing with United. Since Fergie left, they haven't really had a manager that is capable of winning the league. I know Mourinho and everyone laughs and jokes about Jose, but he was their best manager since. I know everyone will go point to all these records since he's been in charge and go, he's got more points than that. But at the end of the day, it's like Liverpool in the past, we used to have great forward players, but couldn't defend for our lives. And until United, unless they go out and spend a lot of money, which I think they will, on either Varane or a very much a high-profile, very good centre-back.
That's what they need. That's what they need.
Then there'll be serious questions asked, because that's been what has been labelled at Man United over the last couple of seasons. Yes, they had Maguire, but the defensive liability of Lindelof and Eric Bailly in terms of when Harry Maguire wasn't available, they were a sinking ship. It was like watching Liverpool when we didn't have Virgil van Dijk or like the Carragher or Sami Hyypiä when they weren't fully fit at the football club.
Yeah, look what happened to City 2 years ago with Laporte. I mean, centre-half is huge now. The old-fashioned centre-halves in the 80s and 90s, when I was watching football, where the centre-half was the centre-half, and he's probably on the lowest wages out of the whole bloody team. Him and the goalkeeper. They weren't even, you know what I mean? They weren't the big wages. It was the midfielder and the attackers. I know the attackers and strikers make probably the most money. But centre-halves now are becoming the prime part of the bloody team.
Yeah, it's the biggest part, and if you watch them in the 70s, 80s, you all watch them at different time periods. Yeah, it's probably the biggest position in the pitch. Obviously, your goalkeeper, massive. Your strikers, obviously, but your spine, your team is so important for any team, and that's where Liverpool have got such great success. Jurgen identified that. Us as fans were like, we need a goalkeeper and a centre back, and we went out, spent a load of money on the right players. That's the big point, the right players. And it was great that Jurgen and obviously the department in recruiting, Michael Edwards, previous years, and a lot of managers in the Premier League have spent money, i.e. Manchester United have spent lots of money, like City, like a load of clubs around Europe that have spent money on players, and they haven't really come through in terms of their total value, in terms of on-field performances.
Here's a controversial one. I see here, can't even get a game for England, Sancho. Here's a controversial one. If Sancho was German and he's playing for Dortmund. He's English playing in Dortmund. But if he was German, would United be paying 80 million for him? I don't think so.
Well,
the price inflates, Jack, when you're an English player. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
it goes up about 20%.
I think if you look at Kai Havertz, I think he's a similar player. Obviously, one's a winger anyway, Sancho, and Kai Havertz is very much a versatile midfield that can play up front as well, as we've seen with Germany this tournament. So it's the demand. It was Man United fans were crammling. They wanted, obviously, Sancho used to play in the Manchester City Academy anyway. Pep Guardiola famously, I think it was Pep Guardiola, let him go. He didn't offer him a contract, and I think that's played into his hands really, into potential negotiations. There'll be a bit of rivalry and there'll be bitterness from his behalf. Obviously, Manchester City, he'll want to prove a point in the Premier League to Pep Guardiola, most importantly, for allowing him not and just obviously it's great to see that an English talent has gone to another country and performed well, because I wish a lot more young English talent done that. And Dortmund's very rich history in terms of developing players, not just under Klopp, but as a football club. You look at it through the ranks and the players that have come through their academy, and obviously, and they've all gone to Bayern Munich. All the top German talent does go to Bayern Munich in the end. But I think I think a couple of years ago I was discussing that Bayern Munich and Dortmund were very much high-profile discussions in terms of negotiating, saying that Dortmund were very much allowing Jadon Sancho to go to Manchester United, so they get the most amount of money, mate.
Well, you have to look at Dortmund now. Obviously, they're a selling club. You know, they get 2 or 3 big players. That keeps them going. That 80 million, they're going to reinvest that. But they're not going to let Haaland go now. I can't see them letting Haaland go. Same as Jadon Sancho.
It depends.
Everybody keeps saying Jadon Sancho.
It'd be one. I tell you, mate. If Chelsea, by all accounts, if you want to believe all the rumours, I tell you, if Chelsea come in with a massive £150 million bid, I think there's no way Dortmund turn that down, are they?
Yeah. Here's a good one from Jay. Release from City, Dortmund take him. United's PE teacher buys him for 70 or 80 million. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's probably a £50 million player, Jack, but because he's inflated. I could be wrong. He could be 20 goals.
I rate him as a player, Dave.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying he's a good player. I'm just saying, is he a 70, 80 million pound player? As I just said, he can't get into the England team. There's some sort of character thing going on with him in Southgate. You know what I mean? Maybe it's nothing to do with. Sure, even Grealish can't get into the England team. Never mind bleeding Sancho. You know what I mean?
I reckon, as everyone likes to say on social media, he's probably gone out with Southgate's daughter or something behind closed doors. It's probably wound up the manager that way, really.
He's
done something to he's not like Mason Mount, who's in the good books of Southgate most of the time, anyway.
Yeah. So what do you think, Jack? I mean, we're going to have to, the thumbnail's Mbappe, so we're going to have to just have a quick chat about Mbappe. The more I think about it, it's just, I think it's Madrid. I think he's going to Madrid. I think it's Madrid is where he wants to go. Never mind that else.
I think the big indication will be who PSG do get as their next manager. Because I tell you, Mbappe was a massive supporter of Zinedine Zidane, and previous seasons gone when the Frenchman was in charge of Real Madrid. I think if Pochettino give it 6 months, I think obviously Kylian will stay at PSG for the next couple of months. And depends on how Pochettino does go, if he succeeds, obviously buying Hakimi, a lot of great players. PSG have already started the ball rolling, signed Argini, so they're building a great team. It'll be interesting to see if they stick with Poch, but if Zidane does come into the managerial hot seat in Paris, I think he'll very much stay. And if Zidane does sign a big contract, Zidane's very capable of managing big teams, big personalities, and I think that will be a massive indication. But Liverpool, I know as much as we've done videos, Dave, and everyone's done videos on social media, Liverpool would. I've never say never in football, but it's very highly unlikely because it doesn't follow a pattern of rationale or any pattern that Liverpool have previously done. Yes, you can talk about Van Dijk and Alisson Becker spending massive amounts of money, but Mbappe and Haaland and the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, they're elevated to a new generational transfer fee. Because you're looking at Mbappe and Haaland, mate, you're looking in excess of 150, 100 million plus. What, 50 million a year or whatever it takes
agents' fees. He brings baggage. Not only he brings an entourage, Jack. He brings an entourage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just Liverpool. Klopp himself wouldn't like that. He wouldn't. He doesn't like dealing with all that crap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's an issue.
It's all about the personalities and change room, Dave, and chatting. I'd much rather have someone on 50 grand that would run through a brick wall for the football club and us as fans and actually put in a performance like Robbo. I'd have 11 Andy Robbos on the pitch all day long. I don't care if you've got 50,000 followers on Twitter or Instagram. It's what they do on the pitch week in, week out, and it gets you success. I think that's what City and Man United and Chelsea's previously gone by have very much. Yes, City are very dominant in the league, but they're just throwing tons and hundreds of thousands of money at the project, and the bound to stick eventually if you throw enough money at it.
Jay, I'll hold you to that. If Liverpool sign Mbappe, I'll come on your show bollock naked, says Jay. That's going to be held here, okay, till next season as well. Carl Arasia, we're also a little frustrated when United signed Alexis Sanchez. Remember that deal? What was that, 600 grand a week? Oh, my God. He's still being paid. Oh.
Yeah, it's the modern day isn't it, mate? And everyone's modern day footballers. Sadly, it's the reality of us football fans living in a world now that it's to keep them all happy in it, lads and ladies. But I'm great. Even if we had it with Suarez, Coutinho, Sterling, they all turned around and said, "Oh, I'm bigger than the football club. I want to leave. Grass isn't always greener." A couple of years down the line, and then obviously they were proven right. I mean, Sterling's a great player, and Suarez and Coutinho, we would have massively benefited. But in terms of Coutinho, we sold him, and then we bought the two big main men anyway. And then obviously we know just what happened next.
Bashir, who's saying United fans act like they won the league. They remind me of Everton, actually, a different level of Everton. What? Speaking of Everton, what do you think of Benitez going to Everton, Jack?
Oh, I've had fun.
I want your opinion on it. Go.
I've had some fun this week, Dave.
Your mate's a big Everton fan, isn't he?
Oh, I've got a lot of them, Dave. Lots of them.
That's sad.
To say they disgruntled would be very much a very underestimation.
They're not happy at all. It's like no, they didn't. A lot of Everton fans just don't want to have anything to do with Liverpool. That's it. Because they'll always go back to. I mean, they're not going to win the Champions League, so they'll be going well. But they're not going to win the league either. And they go, well, what did you win? Well, we won the Champions League.
Yeah, he's probably the second, third greatest ever manager. And he hasn't even kicked the ball, managed the team anyway. Obviously, success. Don't get me wrong, I've not got any hard feelings at the end of the day for Rafa. He loves the city of Liverpool Football Club. And I think us Liverpool fans, it'd be interesting to see if the shoe was on the other foot. But in terms of if a manager, if we didn't have Jurgen, that was coming in, we were in a position where Rafa's coming in with a very big CV. Don't get me wrong, he was in China. He's managed Liverpool, but he has got a proven track record of winning trophies, something that Everton haven't won since
95.
Since it was
26 years. Oh my God!
I think it was like two months old since they last won their trophy. But it's don't get me wrong. I know a couple of mates that have through in the season tickets as well, very much so. They've said they don't want anything to do with it until he's in charge. So if you start winning games of football fans, all of us, every single one of us, are very fickle. Whether that be talking about transfers, kits, we all buy kits because we want them. We go out and we can play in football fans, but at the end of the day, if Everton start winning football games and Rafa gets them into the Champions League, I think he'll win a lot of. It's in a lot of heads really because they can't keep on kicking off him as long as he gets results for them. But for me, best for him, Rafa, because obviously the work in which he's done with the Hillsborough family and obviously the city of Liverpool or the charity work, it do a lot. He's not a person that goes around to the press and promotes his stories. He does it all in-house, like very professional. Doesn't get a lot of publicity on social media, but rightly so, because he's a very humble man. He's a great person. He had his history with Liverpool, yes. But I think all the best to him. Yes, he might be managing Everton, but at the end of the day, you got to respect what he won with Liverpool Football Club, and it really doesn't tarnish. For me personally, I'm not speaking for everyone for Liverpool fans, but for me, it doesn't really tarnish what great success he had at Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah. Let bygones be bygones. I mean, it's history. You know, he's done what he's done for Liverpool. That's it. You move on. I'm not holding that against him. I just hope he gets them relegated. Okay.
Yeah, but the other thing, that's his secret motive there, Dave.
Agent Rafa, 008, Operation Relegation. Okay, here's the other thing, Jack, and I just seen it there, Eamon Kelly. Remember, all our top players are looking for improved contracts this summer and extensions. Remember, the amount of money it will cost to extend Salah's, VVD, Alisson, Henderson, even all the players, the big Fabinho. Like, you're talking millions. That in itself is like a new signing. If you could say to Salah, right, what has he got? Was he 2 years left? You say to Salah, right, yeah, I think it's 2 only. So the problem is you go into next year, it's only 1 year. That's when you're in trouble. You always try to extend on the second year to go, because in the 1 year they have you. They basically have you by the balls. You're only a year left. They say, I'm not signing. I'm going free next year. You know what I mean? I want double my wages.
It's like Ginny. I think Liverpool and Jürgen, you have to read his end of season programme review of talking about him highly of Ginny. You tell me Jürgen didn't want to give him a contract. It was up to the club. I think that the idea coming on, Liverpool would have offered the money and the wages, but I think it was the length of the contract which was the big thing, because unless you're James Milner, who is an absolute superhuman in terms of fitness levels, then don't get me wrong, Ginny was a fantastic player, but you never know. Next season, this season coming up anyway, we could have a different formation, different philosophy. Obviously, we'll play similar football, but we don't know how we'll approach it next season with a bit more defensive or playing it's interesting to see how we do approach next season. If we do go to a 2 in midfield and obviously play with 4 attackers, but it's the ability of being unpredictable, which is a big thing next season.
As you say, Everton, as Seamus Moore is saying, Everton are going to have to start. You know, they won't want to lose a few opening games because the tide will just cave in on you, being who he is. You know what I mean? He'll have to start nearly running. He'll have to be set off. You know, at a pace. I think
Everton is already a very hostile ground anyway. When they've had previous managers, speak to me good mate, one of my best mate, really, Ryan. He's a very level-headed Everton fan. He himself.
What?
Very there anyway. Don't know. There's a loads of out there, but yeah, he was like, he's looking at the viewpoint of, if the results are sound on the pitch, then that means Everton are being successful. But as I said, football fans are very fickle. But as long as Everton is not that, it's a ground that always gets on your back. Like you look at Sam Allardyce, Roberto Martinez, and obviously Ancelotti. It probably helped them not having fans in the stadium. In terms of the pressure that is. It's like Liverpool.
They don't give their man. Well, Liverpool, you'd have to say, give their manager time. The Liverpool fans, always give the managers time.
But it's the pressure. It's the pressure which is expected. Obviously, Everton were 13 league titles, still a massive club, bigger than Manchester City as well.
They were huge in the 80s. They were huge. There was Liverpool and Everton all the way in the 80s. FA Cup finals, League Cups, league wins. You know. I don't know whether you've seen the documentary on Liverpool. It was on. Yeah, in May, I think it was brilliant documentary. It was Liverpool.
FA Cup final.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All the best to Rafa, really. As long as Liverpool are winning trophies, we're not really too arsed, are we? So, that sounds.
But as an early riser says, good luck to Rafa, but I wonder how the fans would have felt if he'd gone to United now. That would have been a different level altogether. That would have been... Don't think he would, you know.
No, and obviously we're all Liverpool fans. We get Liverpool as a city as well, don't you? Like, even if you don't live in the city, you understand that there's a good, not over the last couple of years, last 10, 15 years, there's a bit more hatred. But the older generation of fans of Liverpool and Everton, there was so much, because you only have to, so many families that are mixed, either blue, your uncles are red, or what, vice versa. But the modern day rivalry has got a lot more. Sadly, it's got a lot more hatred, but it's not nice to see. Some of the scenes of some of the stuff.
You know what? Carl Arasia is heading off. Bye, guys. Early wake up in the morning. Take care. Enjoy watching the 2 games tomorrow. I have a feeling Mbappe is coming to us as Carl Arasia. Thanks very much for coming in, Carl.
Cheers,
Talk
Carl.
to you soon. He's in Germany, so he's not a happy camper at the moment. But so like, listen, I just can't wait for the 14th of August. I think, is it still the 14th of August, or could it be moved? Could it be moved? You know yourself.
TV companies.
Oh, do you know? I think it's a 5:30 kickoff. I think it's the 5:30 on the Saturday kickoff, the Norwich Liverpool game. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously,
I think it is.
TV schedule.
But
they've
what
got
do you
the
think?
Power, haven't they?
That's going to be a tough game. When you open up your season, or you open up your fixtures, and you're playing a team that have just come up in front of maybe the crowds type of thing. I hope the crowds are there. The atmosphere is just great. Even watching the Euros, hearing the noise in the background is great, rather than hearing nothing, isn't it? Hearing the noise of the fans is just. Totally.
It was good. I loved the games in Hungary, Dave. When we've watched the games in Budapest, I think more or less a full capacity, and obviously fingers crossed everyone's safe to do so. Get the vaccines, and that whether you want to get it or not, but as long as everyone's safe and sound and the protocols are followed, and we can get fans in safely, that's the most paramount, really. Safe capacity, and getting fans. It's not unlike we've seen it, Dave. We've all watched the Euros when the fans have been in the stadium. Me and my dad, I don't know how everyone was watching the Euros. I've been enjoying the Euros. It's great. I know Liverpool is, but watching other countries do well. Switzerland. What was that game? The Switzerland when they beat France. Everyone. I was sat there.
3-3. That was the best game. That was the best game.
Yeah, I was sat there with my dad, everyone, and I was like, I was absolutely buzzing when they missed the pen. Yeah. And like, obviously, Rodriguez missing that penalty, but I've really enjoyed the Euros. It's great that we can all come together, whether you're watching it with your family or with your mates and that in your house or whatnot. It's just brought a bit more togetherness. Which we've needed.
It's because of the coronavirus and craziness that's happened in the last 18 months. I think that's what it is. Eamon Kelly has a question for you, Jack. Forget about Everton. I'm more interested in what Jack had for tea.
Oh, I'm no expert in Michelin star. It was an after a potato, like it was like a round thing, like quiche or something. No. I'll leave that to me, Mom. But yeah, I had like a potato, like a something potato, like garlic potato or sort of name, and with pulled pork. Do you know the ones that you get from Asda? You know, like you just have you put it in, whack it in the oven. It's quite nice. Well, yeah. Nice, hopefully, it's all had a lovely tea anyway. But yeah, it's my mum's birthday today, so I wished her an happy birthday. So.
But Owen McKenzie, Rafa is at the end of his career and won't do much at Everton. Nothing to worry about. I have nothing to worry about. We're certainly not worried about Everton. I'm just talking about the concept of a Liverpool Champions League winning manager going to, rarely. I think it was the last time it happened. It was I think Liverpool were only founded in the 1890s was the last time it happened.
Yeah.
The only other time it happened.
Yeah, it was the change of obviously ownership of obviously both clubs getting formed. Obviously Everton started and we give you Anfield. No, you couldn't pay your rent, so you moved out. And then obviously Liverpool Football Club was formed. So yeah, which they always say. Watching France lose it definitely was, Liz. And Liz and Dave, did you see the reports of the madness going on in the stands? Was it Rabiot's mother like having a go at like all the players in the executive box? Have you not heard those reports? Oh, it got broke all over the social media like that night. That it basically had his mum who was his agent, Rabiot's. It basically in the stands, she was sat behind Pogba's family, giving them belters and basically saying to Kylian Mbappe's dad or whoever his entourage, saying, Your son is an absolute disgrace, and he needs to stop showboating and everything. So there was a big argument.
That wasn't a good idea. Happy birthday to Jack's mom. Is it your mom's birthday today?
Yeah. I forgot how old she is. She's just getting a bit more older. So
I was going to say I'll take a guess, but I won't. I'll never get into Jack's house again for a cup of tea. So
just in case she's watching, probably strangle me in a minute.
Happy birthday, Brenda. Is your mom's Brenda, isn't it?
Yeah, Brenda.
Happy birthday, Brenda.
Yeah, nice one, everyone. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna see if I can send that to Doug again. Hold on. I thought I sent him an invite in his DM. I'll see if we can get Doug on for the last 10 minutes. Hold on, Doug. I'll see if I can send it again to you, buddy. I'm having a few technical issues lately, but we shall try it again. There you go, baby. Should get it now.
I'll send it over soon.
I know I sent it now. I wish it was. What's this? Liverpool addiction. I wish it was possible, lads, but we couldn't even afford Mbappe on a free. Exactly, Sonny. Yeah. You can't get them on a free because of your entourage. Agents' fees. It's just crazy.
It's the modern day footballers, and give it, Sonny and everyone, give it 100 years. I tell you, footballers will very much be going for billions, and that's facts. Footballers in 100 years' time will very much be going for billions. They'll be bigger than the football clubs. They'll be their own fan bases. You only have to look at Messi and Ronaldo, how popular they are on social media. It's growing so much, and obviously branding of footballers. You literally see adverts when you're watching like a football match on TV. Like it'd be so. I'm surprised you don't do that. Like it'd be so much Americanized in terms of advertisements. You'll be watching like the derby, and you literally have about 20 adverts within the first half. And you're like, what is this? It's
Jack, that's what it is. Look, the Benjamin Franklin's, baby. That's what it's about. Money. You know?
Yeah, and it will be artificial fans in the stadium. You pay to get in the stands so you can be seen on a screen. There will be no fans in the stadium. It'll be all like audio. You create your own atmosphere from like your microphone at home and all that.
Yeah, I see. They were doing something like that before, weren't they? When the coronavirus came out first, they were doing like a fans thing where you could shout into a thing and your voice would come out over the bloody.
Yeah, that very much will be the viewpoint. The technology is definitely out there, mate, and give it 100 years, the technology will be ridiculous in terms of
100 years. Give it 10 years.
10 years, yeah. Wouldn't even be able to get a ticket to go to game. It'd be even more harder.
We have Doug from the Dugout Football Channel in the green room, and we're going to pop him in and get him in for a few minutes. I want to ask him a few questions, obviously the ones like I asked Jack. So, Doug, are you ready to rock, baby? Uh-oh. What happened there? He's in. What? Are you outside or something, are you?
I'm at a bus stop. I'm literally waiting on a bus home.
He's just done his medical at Liverpool.
Yeah, how are you guys? Haven't spoken to you for a while.
Oh no, we're grand. There's been a lot of news in the last few days with Everton, with Benitez, with Nuno at Spurs, Sancho at United, possibly Varane, these type of things, and basically, even the Euros have been brilliant. I know they haven't been great for Scotland, but like you know what I mean. They've been brilliant to watch them.
I'll let you off for that.
I'm from Ireland. We're not even in the bloody Euro, so it doesn't matter.
But happy birthday to Brenda as well. Hope she's had a fabulous day, Jack.
Cheers, mate. Happy anniversary as well. I used to. Did you have a good meal? Did you have a good meal today?
It was good, thank you. Yeah.
You got your jab. You got your first jab today, Doug, was it?
Yeah, I have a dead left arm. But I'm okay. I've not had any side effects yet. I know you got the Pfizer one. I got the Moderna one. Yeah,
they're both mRNA. They're both the same type of vaccine. I got the second one today, so I think it's 7 days, and I'll be fully vaxxed then. But my arm is a bit sore now. You just said it. It's just like a bruise. Someone used to give you a little nully. I don't know what you call them, a nully over there.
So boys, You should be climbing off the roof in a couple of hours, so it's I was like Spider-Man when I had
Spider-Man, yeah. Side effect. But Doug, what do you think? I'm going to ask you one or two questions. What do you think of Rafa going to Everton? What's your thoughts on that?
Like I can understand it. I can understand it from the point of view that he's in the Wirral. He's been there 16 years. His main objective now probably is to get one more job and then probably retire. I'm not really against it. People are saying it's tainted his legacy. I'm not sure.
No. Yeah.
I think if he had moved straight away from Liverpool to Everton, then you could have had a bit of an argument. But it's been 10, 11 years since he was at Liverpool. So, and he went to Chelsea. He wasn't loved by Chelsea fans. Managed to win them a trophy, and he seemed to win them over. At Newcastle, he was absolutely idolised. And if he does well at Everton, Everton fans might start to like him. But I'm not really against it. I wish the man well. Obviously, not when we play them. But I'm not against it at all, personally.
Yeah, okay. And what was the other thing, Jack, I was saying to you earlier? I was asking you. I'm just going to say Scotland aren't enjoying the Euros, but that doesn't matter. But the Euros themselves as a whole concept, the football, it's been one of the better tournaments, to be fair. And it's not over. But, it has been.
Absolutely. I mean, what's going to happen tomorrow? I mean, we could probably get Switzerland probably beating Spain. We could probably get Belgium beating probably the favourites, Italy.
Well, we're going to go. Well, tell you what, we're going to go soon. So I'm going to ask you your predictions on tomorrow for the weekend, for the quarters, the 4 games. I think England are a shoe-in. I think they'll beat Ukraine, to be fair.
We got beat by Iceland, so
no, it's a different England team. Ukraine aren't great. I mean, Sweden's 10 men nearly beat them. They're not great. Sweden should have beat them.
Yeah.
I know in a game anything can happen. It's in Rome, apparently. So, and then if England can get into the semis, it's at Wembley, and the finals at Wembley, isn't it? So, you know what I mean. You'll never get a better chance, Jack.
It's coming home. Wait, what?
It's coming home. It's coming home. But what do you think? So tomorrow's 2 games. What were your predictions, score predictions, or whatever you want to say?
I'm thinking. I think Spain will beat Switzerland, but I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I think it'll be a very nervy game. I think Switzerland are very good defensively. I'm not sure about Spain defensively, but I think they've just got enough talent to get through that. I think 2-1 Spain. I think. Yeah,
I'll go with that one. 2-1 as well. Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, very much so. I think Spain, as Doug alluded to, I think you've got a lot of firepower. It'll be interesting in that semi if it is Spain against either Italy or Belgium. But I think that Spain side is very much can get got at. Obviously, Eric Laporte playing centre back for them, so he's not. There's frailties in that Spanish back line, but I don't think, as Doug mentioned, Switzerland, but Swiss beat France. So it depends how much confidence that gives them. And I tell you, that would be a big story if Switzerland could progress. But I'm going to go. I go with 2-1. I'm expecting a very tight game. I'll go Spain 2-1. Yeah.
To beat Switzerland 2-1.
Yeah.
I think I'm on my Toblerone when I say Switzerland doing 2-1. We're all actually on 2-1. The 3 of us on 2-1. We'll all agree with that. I think Spain just have too much. They'll have even their bench. It's just crazy. Should have too much, but just as football. This tournament's been whole year's been crazy, so anything's possible. But Jackson prediction, Spain. So the next game is that the 5 o'clock kick-off or the 8 o'clock? Which is the 5? Spain?
Switzerland, Spain's the 5 o'clock one. Yeah.
Okay, so the 8 o'clock.
The big one.
The big one, baby.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't think Belgium were that great against Portugal.
I fancy Italy,
they got no Hazard or De Bruyne, have they? So
I actually think Italy will beat them. I think it's their last chance. Golden generation. Everyone, saying about obviously Belgium's golden generation. They haven't really clicked yet. It could be it's a good chance of them to maybe click, but this Italian side, they're just something else. 31, 32 games unbeaten, I think, already.
Yeah,
I'm going to back the Italians. I'm going to go for them to win 1-0.
Yeah. I think this could go all the way. extra time penalties, a 1-1 or something like that. But I'd fancy Italy to come out on the other side of it. But it's going to be a close game. I'd fancy Italy.
Yeah.
Jack?
Yeah, I go Italy. I'd say about 3-0. I think, as you mentioned, De Bruyne not playing. And yeah, I got Portugal and Doug's sweep. I was made up that a couple of weeks ago, and then is watching France and Portugal get knocked out in his face for a week. I was like, oh.
Wow.
But yeah, I think Italy would have too much in terms of the press, and Mancini's got them well drilled. But yeah, it's Chiellini in their back line, Bonucci. There's so much experience. Cabri as well. But yeah, Italy 3-0, big win for them, I think.
So Saturday, obviously we got England against Ukraine. I mean, I just think England. That'd be a fucking huge upset. I know it's in Rome and stuff like that. When in Rome and all that, but I think England win 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. 2-0.
I'm going to say 2-1. I think they might concede. I've been very impressed with Ukraine forward line recently. Yaramchuk and Yarmolenko have been very, very good. Shaparenko in midfield and Zinchenko. You got to give a shout out to Zinchenko. I think he's been very, very good. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go. I think England will win. I'm going to go 2-1.
Yeah, half of Ukraine's team got injured. We were all watching that. We was watching that. I was laughing to my dad. I was like, the Ukraine game. There was literally about 7 players left on the pitch. They were all injured. I don't even know how they got the winner.
They'll be tired. As well. I just think that the occasion might get to them. Denmark, Czech Republic. I think Denmark has to be Denmark. Has to be.
I think
just the emotion.
I think they could get to the final. Though, in all honesty, I know. Obviously, they've obviously got England or Ukraine next, but you have to give credit to the Czechs. I don't think anyone expected them to get out of the group with England and Croatia, but they've done really, really well, and to beat what was a very poor Holland side, in all honesty, resulting in De Boer's exit from Holland. I've just got to fancy Denmark. I just think Denmark look really, really good. I think they're clicking at the right time. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Denmark. I think Czechs might grab a goal, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Denmark.
Yeah, Jack.
I'm feeling Czechs. I know Denmark are being very galvanised, but it's the big lad. I forgot his name anyway. Big lad that plays in the German Bundesliga. Not Peter. You know who I mean.
Schick.
Yeah, Patrick Schick. Yeah, I've been impressed by him. He's a big lad. They basically the Czech Andy Carroll anyway, but he's very effective. When I watched him, he's like bloody hell. He's a good player. Not very technical, but he gets the job done. So yeah, I go over a 2-1 Czechs. I think that would be massive for either team to get to obviously the semis. But as Doug mentioned, you mentioned Dave and everyone in chat already, I think it could be written in the stars for Denmark because you never know how much it just brings that squad.
1992 repeating itself.
Oh, I remember that well. Don't miss your bus on my behalf, Doug. Don't miss your bus.
No, honestly, true story. I should have been born on the day that Denmark beat Germany in the 1992 Euro final. I was born 13 days later. So there you go.
I was watching that game.
Did your mum want to watch the match?
I'm giving away my age. I was 19. I had a beer in my hand watching that game. But anyway,
get the calculators out, boys.
Yeah, I know. Hate to say Pickford has been good. Hate to say it, and I just hate saying that. You know what I mean? He actually has been good. He has been good. Yeah.
Saying to me, mate, I know the other mates have got, and like, what is this keeper? Because he's absolute shambles in the Premier League, isn't he? He can't catch can't catch a cold.
No. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to finish now. Doug's waiting on his bus. I'm going to quick fire question each. Who is going to win the Euros? Doug.
Italy.
Jack.
England.
Oh.
There'll be the whole public holiday for the next 2 weeks as well after we win it.
I'm gonna sit in the fence here and say either Italy or England. Guys, I'll let you go. That's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Doug, Stay safe. Get your bus home. And we shall
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon, my friend. Right,
See you
Jackie
later.
boy.
care.
Take care, guys. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Jack, stay safe, guys, in the comments. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. I shall talk to you soon.